Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a full card breakdown and in detail predictions for UFC Vegas 48, Walker versus Hill, full card breakdown. Not the best card in the world, and not the best main event in the world, but I'm going to get into it, starting with the early prelim opener of, and this card, not the best card in the world, just saying. Starting with the early prelim opener of Mario Bautista versus Jay Perrin. Jay Perrin stepping up here on short notice to face Mario Bautista. I'm gonna take Mario Bautista here though. He was supposed to fight. We'll see Khalid Taha on this card. I think he would have won that fight. I'm gonna go for Mario Bautista. I think he's pretty good. Mario Bautista, 28 years old still. Pretty capable fighter in that division, coming off a loss to Trevin Jones, which isn't the best. Let's be real. But he was looking good in that fight. He took that one on short notice as well. I think a week's notice, that one. But Jay Perrin's not really the greatest. Savage Jay Perrin. He was supposed to fight someone, but he was signed to the UFC. Lost to Dwight Joseph on the Contender Series back then. He hasn't fought much names. I know Johnny Campbell. That sounds familiar. That's the guy Chris Moutinho beat back in the day. He's beaten okay opponents on 3 in Kim Moy, not in 1 he lost to Dwight Joseph. I just don't like this guy. Like, he's good. He seems pretty good, but it's just he hasn't fought basically in a year. He fought in September. I think Mario Bautista wins this fight. I'm gonna say late rounds finish, by the way. I'll say third round TKO for I'll say late second round TKO for Mario Bautista here. He beat Miles Johns, which is a good win. Jin Soo Sung, also a good win. Lost to Corey Sandhagen, but no shame to losing to Corey Sandhagen, let's be real. Gonna go for Mario Bautista kicking off this card. Second round TKO. Because he's basically had a year off. So I'm gonna say second round TKO. I think Jay Perrin will probably do good early. But if you want to make money, bet Jay Perrin by first round KO. Just do the inactivity from Bautista. Moving on up the card, Jonathan Pierce versus Christian Rodriguez. I'm gonna go for Jonathan Pierce here. Christian Rodriguez is alright. I at first didn't know who this guy was, but he fought Junior Cortez on the Contender Series, which is I think that's Tracy Cortez's brother. And he did pretty good in that fight. He didn't get signed by Dana White, unfortunately. He didn't get signed by Dana White. So that was basically it. He didn't get signed by Dana White. So because it wasn't really a great performance, but he did okay in that fight. But that's the only fight I kind of remember him from. Hasn't fought the greatest of opponents though. 4-2, and Charles Lampos Gregorio. John Pham 2-0. Not really the greatest. 6-9 Jason Huntley. You know. 0-0 in Jose Leon in his debut. And his last opponent, 1936, in Ryan McIntosh. I just don't see him beating Jonathan Pierce on short notice as well. Pierce is looking good lately. Beat Omar Morales in that last fight, and I doubted him in that one. Beat Kamaka III. Not the best of opponents, I get so. But he's improved since that loss to Joe Lozon, which I kind of hated him for, but I'm forgiving him. I'm forgiving him now. He's supposed to fight Austin Lingo. I'll go for Jonathan Pierce. Maybe losing a bit early. Maybe not looking the greatest early. I think he'll come back and get like a third round submission, rear naked choke over Christian Rodriguez. Moving on up the card, Jesse Strader versus Chad Anheliger. I'm gonna go for Chad Anheliger here, but I don't know much about this guy. Chad Anheliger is pretty good. 35 years old now. I think it's now or never for him. Making his debut. Beat Moon Gafarov in his last fight, which is a very which is a good win. It was a savage coming up then. And what's his name? Gafarov. And he beat him. Weird on him later in the fight. Beat Brady Heinstein also, which is a very good win. Beat Craig McLean, which is a good name, no pun intended. And yeah, he's been looking good. He was 2-5 to kick off his. He was 2-5 at one point. 2-5, and since then he's been on a roll at 11-5. I feel like he'll beat Jesse Schrader. Jesse Schrader's not that good. He's 30 years old. We don't know how good Jesse Schrader really is though, but he lost to Montel Jackson really badly in that last fight. Really badly. Lost to Marcelo Rojo and back then as well. We just recently saw Rojo lose to Kyler Phillips last weekend. Beat Michael Jackson, which it's not the Mike Jackson you're thinking of. It's not the Mike Jackson that beat CM Punk. It's a different Mike Jackson. I'm gonna go for Chad Heliger here. I think he's a bit better. I think he has more in him. He's a huge favorite coming into this. He's from Canada. He's gonna be shorter. Schrader could win it, honestly. If you had to bet money on something, Schrader can win it. I'm gonna go for the monster Chad Heliger here, though. He has a 6-inch reach disadvantage here, which is not gonna help. But I feel like Schrader, he hasn't been in the best of opponents. And he's been off for a while, so I'm gonna go for Anheliger, body shot TKO, standing TKO after Schrader kind of gasses out. Moving on up the card, then Deanna Belbita versus Gloria de Paula. I'm gonna go for Deanna Belbita here. Gloria de Paula, she's all right. It's not. She's actually pretty decent at what her record says, and she's 5-4. She's coming off losses recently. But she's not that great, is she? Let's start with Deanna Belbita, 25 years old. Deanna Belbita's not that great either, but she looked good against Hannah Goldie, which I'll accept, because Hannah Goldie, pretty good fighter in that division. She lost to Liana Jujua, which isn't good at all. Molly McCann, I'll accept that one. I'll accept Molly McCann as a loss, but freaking losing to Liana Jujua? Please don't. She lost by armbar as well in that fight. She beat Goldie though. She had rebounded since then, really. But you're getting KO'd at a low weight division, man. Like, don't lose at straw weight like that and getting put out badly. Not out cold, but like Cheyenne Vlismas really put her out badly. Ginny Frey lost to her, not the greatest either. I'm gonna go with Deanna Belbita. 30-27 decision win, just piecing up Gloria de Paula. I'll say de Paula has a chin this time, but we'll see. Moving on up the card. Chas Skelly versus Mark Striegel. I'm gonna go with Chas Skelly over Mark Striegel here. You know what? Chas Skelly. Chas Skelly's actually pretty good. People don't give him his credit. He's actually pretty good. He hasn't been the most active. He was a lot of cancellations. Mike Chisano, Jamal Emmers, Grant Dawson twice. Last win was against Jordan Griffin. It was Jordan Griffin his last fight. He looked good against Jordan Griffin. Jordan Griffin's not bad of a fighter. Weird one against Bobby Moffitt. It was a weird stoppage and that. Lost to Jason Knight, which isn't bad. Darren Elkins, not bad. Marcel Bektik, not bad at the time though. But he beat guys like Chris Guggersmacher, which isn't bad looking now because Guggersmacher just beat Rafa Garcia, which Rafa Garcia has now gone on to beat guys like Natan Levy. I think the layoff is gonna be. It's been almost 2.5 years now. Mark Striegel's not that good. He lost by KO to Adesanya Nurmagomedov, which isn't bad, but like, it's just he hasn't been the most active as well. He's been a little bit more active. He's been off 1.5 years, but 2.5 years for Skelly. I'm gonna go for Skelly by second round. I'm gonna go Skelly by Anaconda choke. Late second round. I'll go for late second round, early second round Darce choke. I think he's gonna lose early to Striegel, looking like he's gonna lose. Then I think all of a sudden, I think he's gonna come. I think Striegel in an exchange, he's gonna shoot for a takedown, get Anaconda'd. I think I'm gonna go for Skelly winning that like that. Moving on up the card to Jessica Rose Clark versus Jessica Rose Clark versus Stephanie Egger. I'm gonna go for Jessica Rose Clark over Egger here. I just think there's levels to this, and I think Jessica Rose Clark is actually pretty good. Sure, she's older though, 34, but she's going now. Because before, she was losing a bunch. Like Patty Kanzad, Jessica I, Sarah Kaufman. This was way back then. Oh, she wasn't even in the UFC then. But, I think she's going now. Because she beat Jocelyn Edwards in the last fight. Destroyed Sarah Alpar. Destroyed her. She's going now. Egger, 33 years old. Not that good of a fighter whatsoever. Beat Shayna Young. Not really that great. Like, she doesn't do good against fighters that... Like, Tracy Cortez is pretty good with grappling. Shayna Young has nothing on the ground. Cortez was good. She took down short notice, fair play, but, like, still, I think Rose Clark just goes out there and gets... They both good at grappling. I'm going to go for Rose Clark. 70% on the feet, 80% on the feet. I think this fight will be a stand-up war, not a war. I'm sorry, I hope it is, but not a war. It will be a good stand-up fight, boring fight. And I think Rose Clark is just a bit better on the feet. And I think she has the grappling in the back pocket because we saw Edgar get out grappled by Tracy Cortez. I'm going to go for Jessica Rose Clark over Stephanie Edgar. I'm going to go for her 29-28, close fight. Rose Clark will get it though, damage-based. And I think she wins it. Moving on up the card, Gabriel Benitez versus David Onama. I'm going to go with David Onama over Gabriel Benitez. I'll go for David Onama. I think David Onama gets this one done. I think he's good. I think he's a very good fighter. He lost to Mason Jones in his last fight, but, like, it's Mason Jones at the same time. Mason Jones is a pretty capable fighter in that. I think that was at lightweight. But now he's moving down to featherweight. I think he wins it over Gabriel Benitez. I really actually don't care. I think he wins it. Benitez is done, man, at this point. Mowgli, Gabriel Benitez, kind of losing his durability at this point. In his career. 33 years old. Lost to Billy Quarantillo in that last one by punching him with back control. They stopped the fight. It was a bit of a weird stoppage. But yeah, beat Justin James. But how really good is Justin James? He's not that good at all. Lost to Omar Morales. Morales just lost recently. Yusuf. That's not a bad loss, Yusuf. But yeah, he was supposed to fight TJ Brown. Maybe he would have won there, but I just don't know anymore, man. He used to be tough. He used to be really tough. He used to be really good. I think now he's kind of losing it a bit now. David Onama is good. I'm going to go for a first round KO for David Onama. Silent Assassin's his nickname. Really, bro? Copy Vicente Luque? The Silent Luque? What is Luque's nickname? Is Vicente Luque's the Silent Assassin? The Silent Assassin. Fine, I'll accept it, but like, don't copy Luque's nickname like that. Like, Silent Assassin? Seriously? He's 27. He wouldn't be bigger here. 74 inch reach too. 70. Yeah, he'll have a reach advantage too here. Trains at AKA, but I just don't see him winning. I think this will be like the Yusuf KO out of nowhere, but he won't get hurt before then. Gonna go for Onama, first round KO. Looking at Mason Jones. I'll trust him. Moving on up the card to the main card. Joaquin Buckley versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I might be wrong. I'm gonna go for Joaquin Buckley over Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I was planning on picking Razak Al Hassan the whole time. I'm gonna go with Joaquin Buckley. I'm gonna go for Joaquin Buckley over Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I think he wins it. I think he's gonna be massive in this fight. I think he's got it, Buckley, man. I know he has stuff in his career, like he gets head kicked by Jericho, but it's MMA, man. Things happen. Oh well. Okay? He is still looking good. His hooks are really awesome. Really slick hooks. I think he wins it over Abdul. I know you're gonna say, oh, Abdul head kicked Jericho and Jericho head kicked Buckley. Different times, different fights. Coming off a great win over Antonio Arroyo, which I just watched back today. And he looked slick in that fight. I know he might have made it competitive in that fight, but he eventually found the timing. Third round, that's a good cardio sign as well. And I just noticed, Abdul Razak Al Hassan's 36 years old. You know? It's just, I know he's coming off a win over Alessio, but I think Buckley wins it, man. I think new mindset Joaquin Buckley, 27 years old. He's still young, still can be something. I know you're going to say, oh, chin issue. Not at all, honestly. Lost to Kevin Holland, but he took that on short notice and made it a little bit competitive against Holland in that fight on short notice. Holland eventually KO'd him, but come on, has that kick, viral kick over Sangane, beat Jordan Wright. I think he wins it. I think he wins it and gets the job done. And yeah, I reckon if Jericho and Buckley rematch, Buckley probably wins it again. Not again, but I think he'd probably win it again. Not again. He didn't win the first time. He'd probably win it this time. I'm gonna go for Buckley. Cardio is in the favor. Chin can go to Abdul, but Abdul, we've seen he got shinned by Chaos Williams. And Buckley has the wrestling in the back pocket. Because he's going to be massive here, and he could just out-grapple Abdul if he needs to. And yeah, I'm going to go for Joaquin Buckley here. Has a 3-inch reach advantage. And has same power at both ends. Gonna go for Joaquin Buckley. He fights like a Mike Tyson style. I'm going to go for Buckley, man. I think he wins it. Moving on up the card to Jim Miller versus Nicholas Mata. I'm going to go for Nicholas Mata here, actually, over Jim Miller. A lot of people are picking Jim Miller. Here. At 68% to 32% topology here are picking Jim Miller by submission. I think Nicholas Mata is pretty good, man. I've watched his fights. Solid fighter, man. 29 years old, first off. Born from Brazil. I think Nicholas Mata is pretty good. You see his fights, like, great wins, man, in his fights. Beat Joseph Laurie on the Contender Series back in 2020. And beat Juan Gonzalez then. He's he kind of fixed up some stuff. You know, he's kind of fixed up some stuff. Because he's been KO'd before by Antonio Carlos, Ribeiro, and Robert Hill. But he's fixed it up. I think since then he's fixed it up. Beat Joe Solecki by brutal KO. You should go check that one out. Brutal KO there. And Jim Miller. I've noticed now, 38 years old, taking damage. I noticed the people that pass him do good. Like, Eric Gonzalez shouldn't even be in the UFC. I don't even know. I think he's had a matchup with someone on some card. Who is he taking on? Is he still in the UFC? Yeah, he's fighting Deonte Smith at UFC 272. So he's still in the UFC, but he shouldn't even be in there. And he KO'd him, and he got hurt in that fight really badly by Gonzalez before getting the KO. A win over Gonzalez. Roosevelt Roberts, not the best fighter in the world, really. Not the best shit either. But Vince Buckley, Joe Solecki, both out-grapple him. And those guys are really capable. Scott Holtzman he also lost to as well, which isn't the greatest. But yeah, Alex White, like, come on. Clay Guida's a good win, I'll give you that. Clay Guida's a good win. I don't think he wins it. I think Nicholas Mata, I think they're both in exchange, going back and forth. And Mata will get like a late first round TKO over Jim Miller. Miller's been taking too much damage. Mata catches him and beats him to the punch. I'll go for Mata here. Moving on up the card to the feature fight of the card, Parker Porter versus Alan Bedell. In the feature fight of this card, which, how is Buckley Abdul kicking off the main card? That should be the co-main event, really. Really. Well, in my eyes anyway, it should be the co-main event. I'm gonna go for Parker Porter over Alan Bedell. At first, I like Parker Porter, man. He's 36, which is annoying, but like he's been looking good for himself lately. I was like before, same thing with like the Jake Collier thing. I was like after that Dawkins one, I was like, he's not even good. Whatever, blah blah. Trash fighter. But like it's now looking at it, Chris Dawkins is a top contender in the heavyweight division. Just lost to Derek Lewis. Now taking on Curtis Blades. But since then, beat Josh Parisian, beat Chase Sherman. Like, he's been looking good for himself, and Alan Bedell hasn't been looking good. Frenchman himself lost to Rodrigo Nascimento. He was winning that fight, but Nascimento came back. Apparently, it was a no contest now, but we knew what we saw. Nascimento came back with a comeback win. Got embarrassed by Tom Aspinall. But not bad losses, Nascimento and Aspinall. Well, that doesn't even count as a loss, but like Aspinall, not bad loss. Dutchling and Bula KOing you. Like, come on, man. I'm gonna go with and he got into the UFC by disqualification with Todd Stout. I'm not gonna pick him. I'm gonna go for Parker Porter, winning this fight, 29-28, winning the last 2 rounds. I think he has a lot of stuff. I think he's a bit. I know his record doesn't really say it, but I think he has the veteran skills because he's fought back then. I think he fought John Jones earlier in his career. And I think he'll win it 29-28, winning the last 2 rounds. Moving up the card to the co-main event, Kyle Dawkins versus Jamie Pickett. I'm gonna go with Kyle Dawkins here over Jamie Pickett. I don't know actually. Dawkins, 28 years old. I think Dawkins win. I don't know actually. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Kyle Dawkins. I think he's been looking okay lately. Lost to beat no contest with Ken Holland. Of course, it was the actual headbutt thing. But he was looking good. He was looking good in that fight. Kyle Dawkins, yeah, looking against Holland. That fight with the clinch. He was probably winning against Holland, honestly. Phil Hawes. He was looking good against Hawes. In fact, he was rocking Hawes. So if Hawes can't finish him, a power guy in Hawes that can't finish Dawkins. In fact, Dawkins was rocking Hawes, but Hawes had the grappling that kind of won him the fight. I don't think Pickett can. And he had a competitive fight with Brendan Allen, a great jiu-jitsu guy himself. Beat Tyson Stoltzfus. I'm definitely going to be going with him here. I'll trust him. Pickett took this on really short notice. 33 years old. And he's looked okay lately. Like, beat Joseph Holmes, which is a good win. Beat Laureano Sarapoli. But those fights, if you look at them closely, really close fights against Joseph Holmes and Laureano Sarapoli. Alright, got KO'd by Jordan Wright and lost the top one, Chukwi. Went to a close fight with Pinelli Soriano, but Soriano recently not looking good. I'm gonna go for Dawkins. And close decision, split decision, I'll say, 29-28. Dawkins will win it with the clinch. And the grappling. Moving on up the card to the main event, Johnny Walker versus Jamal Hill. I'm gonna be going with Jamal Hill here over Johnny Walker by first round KO. I think he wins it. I think Johnny Walker has a chin issue, man. Huge underdog here. Walker, you can make money on Walker, but I just don't think this is the thing, man. Like, this kind of reminds me of this fight. It kind of reminds me of Tuivasa Lewis. I was picking, like, I know Tuivasa won by KO, and this could be a curse. It's like Walker didn't, like, you can't trade on the feet with Jamal Hill, you know? I just don't trust him to win this, man. Like, Santos. Yeah, Santos beat him in a close fight, I understand. It was patient, though. Santos was just waiting, you know? He was waiting to see what would happen. Like, Santos was waiting for the first 3 rounds, and then he started landing at some moments. Walker showed a decent chin in that fight, but, like, that didn't make it better. Oh, one fight you showed a decent chin. All of a sudden, better chin. Like, Span really badly cracked him, but Span shot a takedown like an idiot. That's how he got himself KO'd. Krylov stayed patient, used him grappling there. Anderson drilled the hype train from Walker back then. TKO'd him, knocked him out. But Jamal Hill ain't Serkinov rushing to a flying knee, you know? I think he wins. I think Jamal Hill wins. And Jamal Hill, even, like, his striking slick, coming off a great knockout win over Jimmy Crute, out cold, done. And he pressures you. Like, you can stay on the outside, away from the shots. Too bad. Jamal Hill will just come at you and destroy you. We saw that against OSP. I know Paul Craig, Jamal Hill, Paul Craig had an arm on Jamal Hill, and Jamal Hill eventually got into his guard. Paul Craig didn't take him down, so that's kind of good takedown defense. So that you can say, oh, maybe Jamal Hill has really good takedown defense. He has really good takedown defense. I think he wins it. He's younger. He's older, actually, by 1 year. I think he's going to go now. Beat Klitscheferi Asiabaru, a guy that's very good in that division. And he knocked him out, but it was a no contest, so they changed it. Beat Darko Stojic as well. I think this is Jamal Hill's time, and I think he's going to go out there and win it. Staying really active. I really respect him for that. I really do respect Jamal Hill for that. And stay active in he was really inactive in 2021, but that was kind of an arm injury. But I think Walker loses, man. I don't think he wins. And yeah, I don't see him winning at all. Like, but maybe Jamal Hill's too good on the feet that Walker can maybe outgrapple him. But we kind of thought about that when the Jimmy Crute fight. Like, Jamal Hill will have too much good stand up, he'll get taken down in Kimura. But no, I wish Jimmy Crute shot though. I don't know what he was doing in that fight. What the hell was Jimmy Crute doing in that fight? I don't know what the hell he was doing. But Walker, Walker, we haven't seen too much grappling, and I don't even think we've seen grappling in any of his fights. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going with Jamal Hill first round KO. I'll make an individual breakdown of this tomorrow, and yeah, like and subscribe if you're watching. This is a full card breakdown for UFC for UFC Vegas 48 Walker versus Hill, and yeah, peace out, guys. Woo! Peace.